Hi traders and welcome to the weekly market review. I'm your host Paul. This is where I use wave analysis to look at the charts to see what is going to be the next wave in the market. And if you get anything out of this video, please consider subscribing to this channel. Help me grow this. I appreciate that. All right, in this video we're going to look at the S&P, the Nasdaq, some select stocks, and Bitcoin. So let's get started. And as usual, starting off with the upcoming economic calendar. And we got a very busy week this week. A lot of data points and some stock announcements coming out, or stock events coming out. So Monday, you do have it's not a data point, but it's NVDA stock split. So you never know what the market might be doing with that. I think, anytime there's that big of a stock split, it's obviously going to make it more available to retail traders. So there could be an influx of money coming in for retail to start buying in. But we'll be looking at that stock individually to what I see as far as the next wave is going to be in that stock. And then on Monday too, also, is the Apple Developer Conference, WWDC. So that could very well impact that stock as they make announcements of what they're doing with AI. So see what the market reacts to what they have on board, what they're developing, when it's going to be available and whatnot. So those are two non-data points to be aware of. Then as far as the data points go, it all starts on Wednesday. CPI, expecting a 0.1% decrease from 3.6 down to 3.5, and the month over month from 0.3 to 0.2, and then the regular inflation is steady at 3.4. So obviously if that plays out, market's going to be loving that. Any surprise though, and that could derail things here. And then the big one is Fed interest rate. Now it won't be the interest rate decision that they'll be staying pat at 5.5. It'll be the press conference and what Powell has to say, obviously. So that's a huge day. That's a lot for the market to be taking in, and just expect a lot of, I would think, whipsawing action. But obviously if this all plays out perfect and CPI is good and Powell is still hinting at cuts, market could definitely just take the next leg higher. So Wednesday would be a big day. Thursday then is PPI, and Friday you got consumer sentiment. So very, very big week, and definitely I need to be ready for some strong moves, I think. All right, let's get on to the charts. Going to start with the S&P, and they are telling me that I'm going to go out to a 2 hour here, that I miscounted here. Either I miscounted or they made a contracting flat. So I thought this was a 5-wave move. 1, 2, all the way down to here for 3, 4, and 5. So I thought correction and then one more down. Now this move right in here definitely looks to me like it was a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the only part that I'm wondering if this isn't like an A, B, C. It's kind of an ugly contracting flat there. If it would have pushed a little bit closer down to the bottom. So this part is just a little tricky to count. It could be that I just miscounted and it was just a 3-wave move, and that was it for 4. And then obviously now that we broke that, so either 4 was, oops, over here, but I think it's over here. And this one wave, I think maybe just tricked my counting. But in the end, it doesn't matter where the 4 is, except for how we count the 5. But definitely the 4 is now in, and because I'm looking at this, go out to a 4-hour, looking at this as a diagonal. Oops, 3 waves, 1, 2, 3 for 1, 2, 3 up, 3 down. We do have then 1, 2, 3 waves up for the 5. Now I don't think, because I'm assuming that the 4 is over here, and then I'm going that this must be an A, a B, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C wave. So an ABC. I think though this is just going to be ABC. That's just going to be the A wave of this 5th wave. Now it is 3 waves, and if they were to fall below that 5205, then the 5 waves are done, and there's going to be a big correction happening. I have a feeling though that this is just the A wave, and this sell-off this afternoon on Friday was just the start of the B wave, and I would expect the B wave to come down 53.43 or 53.16. Couldn't even come down farther, but probably just down into this range, and then one more up. So the timing of this, what if this plays out, will be interesting, because where will the market be come Wednesday? Because I think Wednesday is obviously going to be, I think there's going to be a strong move one way or the other. And so does this all take place like Monday, and then Tuesday we're up here already? If that's the case, I don't know if I'd want to be long anymore, because I think the market could be in for the big correction here. So yeah, so if you're long, I think you just wait it out until this level gets broken. Then you might want to think about protecting your position either with upside calls or start taking some profit. But I do think that they'll come down, but they'll still come up one more time to break 53.85, and then it's just a matter of how high. So that's what I see on the S&P, and then when we look at the Nasdaq, it's almost the exact same thing. I mean, they have very similar patterns right in this portion. So I think this is also just A, B, and then we have this 1, 2, 3 expanding flat for 4, up for 5, and then started to sell off. So like I said, on the S&P, I think what they did today, this new high 19,155, I think that was just the A wave of this 5th wave. I think there will be a B wave that maybe come down into this 18,939, 18,806 area, and then still one more up. So that is what I see on both those markets. So yeah, I think there's one more up, but if you're not in the market, I don't know if I'd be buying even in this range for just this little. I mean, it might be a big move. You know, I mean, this could take off, and we could be up at 19.4, 19.5 or something, but it could also just do one of those where it just breaks 155, maybe touches like 200, and then quick reversal. And like I said on the S&P, like where this all takes place next week, I think is going to be really crucial with Wednesday's inflation, and then the Powell press conference. where's the market when all that comes out? Because that, I think, could just really dictate on what is about to happen here. All right, let's move on to some stocks. We'll look at AMD. It's kind of just been going sideways. And like I said last week, I think this is all like a triangle. I think you got your A, your B, your C, your D, and then E. Would have been nice if this E would have came and broke it. They almost did on Tuesday, broke that low, but it's close enough that, I mean, it's just sideways, and now it's starting to get some strength. So this is one of the reasons why I think like the market still has one more wave up, and so I could see AMD definitely going and breaking 174. But then after that, I think AMD is going to correct, and it's just a matter of, is it just correcting this move up from the May low? You know, so just a 1, 2, 3 for a lot more up, or is it correcting to actually come all the way down and break that May low? So that remains to be seen. So I do think there is more up. So if you're in, yeah, I definitely think I'd stay in too, because this doesn't look, this is just some type of correction here. Just been sideways for a while. I think there's one more wave up, but then after that, I'd be cautious once you break 174 on what's about to happen there with AMD. Let's look at Apple, because they have been on a tear since the end of April. And I do see, well, they've been in this fifth wave for a while now, but you do have 5 waves. Now you don't know where this fifth wave is going to end, and they're really close to their all-time 199.62 high. So Monday will be very interesting. You know, is the conference going to be enough, whatever they come out with, to push it above, or is this the start of, they're going to start a correction, you know, before they break it? So pretty much like, I think on Monday, it's either going to break it Monday, or they're going to start the correction before they eventually do go up to break that high, because this is a 5-wave move. So at some point, you're going to get a correction. Now, if they break the high in 5 moves, then that correction could be quite big. Because if you've been following me, I've been looking at this running flat pattern playing out. Because I think this WXY could be like the A, and then you had an ABC, ABC up, ABC down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they do break it, I could see them at some point after they break it, then having a sharp correction to give us this big ABC running flat and then back up. So where will that correction happen? Because if they correct before they break it, then Apple's got a lot more up, because you get a correction, but that'll be 1, this will be 2, and then they're going to go and break that high and the all-time high for 3, get a 4, and then 5. Because I would think that, well, I guess this could be another 3-wave. Yeah, that's possible. I'm looking for 5, but because I'm thinking like this was A, this is B, and they're making a C. I guess this could be WXY too. But yeah, if they were by chance to correct before they break, I think that's a great buying opportunity. You know, somewhere, I don't know, 70s, maybe 80 or so, to go and break 199 then. But yeah, buying up here, if you're not already in, that's not, I don't think, very wise. unless you're really banking on a great WWDC announcement. All right, let's move on to, let's look at NVIDIA. This thing's just been a monster. So I still think that they're making a diagonal, and that was 1. This ABC is 2. Last week I thought 3 was going to end there, and they were going to come down to like maybe 1,000, and all it did is just rip higher. So I don't think that this was 3, that was 4, and then that's 5. I don't think so. I think what you have down here is your like ABC for A, and then there's your B, and then all of this is like the C wave. And I think they completed 3 this week. So I'm expecting a pullback, which is really hard to imagine if the market still has one more high, unless NVIDIA, the third wave still isn't even in. Because I mean, that'd be a pretty big drop. What is that from right here? Yeah, that's like a 11-12% drop. As it stands right now, if 1255 is the third wave, I would expect them to come down in 3 ways, but to come down to at least 1064. So that'd be like a 12% drop. It'd be hard to see NVIDIA dropping if the Nasdaq itself has still got one more up. So this third wave might not even be complete yet. But at some point, you're going to get a 4 and then a 5, if this is the diagonal that I think is being played out. I don't think that was 4. It could be. It could be. I mean, definitely if price comes blowing through 947, then I don't think I'd want to be buying NVIDIA. Because then the 5th of the 5th wave is done. So I'd only be buying if there's a good setup down in this range, but under 947, and I'd start to get leery, because then maybe this was 4. But then the high, no, I guess if that is 4, then maybe this is 1, 2, and then they'll break one more time. Yeah, that's possible, I guess. It's a very contracting ending diagonal. 1, 2, a big 3, but a very little 4, and then 5. It's possible. Yeah, I'd only be looking for a buy setup though down here. I mean, obviously you can't be buying up here to play for just that little wave up. I mean, NVIDIA needs a correction. This is just crazy how much they're up. All right, let's quick look at Tesla, because Tesla is actually looking a little interesting. It's just going sideways. If I drill in just a little bit, there's a possibility that they're doing like a 1, 2. It was like 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and then 3 more up to there, which is corrective. But then they came down in 3, went up in 3, and then you got this another 3 wave down. So it's almost like it's WXY, WXY, and now it's starting to get a little almost like they're going to go back up. So if Tesla is going to do, it looks like they could be in the start of a diagonal then. So all of that would be 1, all of this was 2, and then you got like a 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, and a 3. So buying here would actually not be that bad if you're in the belief that Tesla is going to go break 198, because I would think they're going up in a diagonal. That's 1, that's 2, and then you should be getting 3, 4, and a 5 to go break 198. And then the nice thing, if you do buy I think if they were to break either one of these, definitely 172, but I think even 172.74, or even maybe not 175, but I'd have a pretty tight stop though, I think here. Maybe just under 175. Because if this comes and breaks either one of these, then I think they're coming all the way down to take out 167. So if you're into Tesla, buying here with a tight stop makes a lot of sense because you have a ton of risk to reward there. Okay, let's look at ZScaler. This is a stock we looked at last week, and they had great earnings, and the stock sold off, and I didn't see any correction. And so last week they came all the way down in kind of a very, very small three-wave. And I thought there would be at least one more up to break this 183. And it's looking pretty good right now. Now it doesn't necessarily have to break 183. Could be a contracting flat because it almost looks like you got 5 waves right now. Oops. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. Now I don't know if this 5th wave is even done yet, but they might break it. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying here. But if they do just give like a nice little 3-wave correction and then you start to get some strength, because then they might be going up and they'll break it, and they should break 183 by a lot. Because if this is 1 and 2, you're going to go up for a 3, 4, and 5, and then you're talking more into the higher 180s or 190-ish range, which would be a nice trade, but only if you get that correction. Now, if they just go straight up from here, or they just keep it, basically if they keep it above that level, 176, then this is all just the 5th wave, and so you could get just like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll just break it, and then this could be just a 3-wave correction. So, yeah. If you can get it lower underneath this high in a 3-wave pullback, then that might not be a bad place. But I wouldn't be buying here. Okay, so yeah, ZScaler, I think there's more up, but I'd only want to be buying because this could just turn out to be like 1, 2, 3, and then either they're going to come all the way down and break 155, or they're going to give you a big 1, 2, 3 down, like they're going up in a diagonal. That'd be 1, that'd be 2. So yeah, I wouldn't buy here unless you get some type of 3-wave correction, because you might be able to get it a lot lower than where it is right now, into like 60s, and then maybe it'll take off. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin for the Bitcoin people. All right, so as it stands right now, I think this is making an ending diagonal here. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and now they should go up in an ending diagonal. I would think then that they'll break 73, break the all-time high. If they don't, if this 5 ends short of that, I mean, at some point then this whole thing is going to correct, because it looks rather impulsive, and I would have 5 waves then if they go break 71,980. So buying down here, not the worst thing, because you know where your stop is for sure. That's your stop, 66,584. But to be honest, I think if they break that low that they set today, I would not want to be in. because this could just be it for right now. It's just 3 waves. So, you had 3 waves down. This could just be a big 3-wave move because they came really close to breaking that previous high. Like how close was that? 974. Yeah, $6. It came from breaking that high. Because if they break that, then I think you're okay, because I don't see what the pattern would have been if that third wave would have broke this high over here. But they didn't, so someone's defending that for some reason. So that's the only reason you got to be a little leery, is somebody stepped in and sold that thing off to keep that high in place. So, buying here is really good, because obviously you're going up to at least then break that, with the potential of going to break the all-time high. But I would only trade with a super tight stop somewhere under 268, 298, because if this goes down again, then I think they'll be coming all the way down under there, 66, and then that means that this could be all just a really big correction. You don't know how low this thing will go. So if I'm right, they're going up in a ending diagonal, and we've got the 4 waves in, and now it should go up for the 5th wave, and it's just a matter of where's that 5th wave going to end. Are they going to take it all the way up to the new time high, all-time high, or is it going to stop just short, and then you're going to get some big correction before they go and take it out? So I'm only looking for buys until, for me, I think 68, 298 is gotta hold. I mean, technically that's your invalidation point, but I really think if they come down again, it might be kind of aggressive. Oops, let me put that back. All right, so that's Bitcoin, and that is everything I wanted to cover. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Good luck to you all. Be ready for next week. It's going to be volatile and crazy midweek. And I will see you guys in the next video.